So on account, we have to head out to Staples Center and wish Cassie Campbell-Pascal, Mike Richards of Kenora, home of the 07 Stanley Cup champions at Scott Oak. Happy New Year, Scott.
Ron, thank you. We lost our return audio here a few moments ago, so I couldn't hear what you said. I'm sure it had something to do with Happy New Year, so same to you. And I would also say, because we never had audio, you were sitting here dumbfounded over those crazy pictures you were showing. It looked like some cheap, shameless plug for his book. But anyway, I'm sure it made sense. Pleased to be joined on After Hours now by one of the most famous alumni from Beaver Brae High School in Kenora, Ontario. That'd be Mike Richards, but perhaps better known for a Memorial Cup, Calder Cup, World Junior Gold, Olympic Gold, and in 2010 you got to within a game of the Stanley Cup. So shows off to a pretty good start, don't you think?
Yeah, I've had some luck over the years, but that one got away a couple years ago against Chicago, and what better place to do it here than in LA?
All right, let's get a few comments about the game. Cassie.
Well, I guess when did you find out that you were going to be playing wing tonight with Kopitar and Brown?
This morning, and Daryl came up to me and just kind of asked me about how I felt playing it, and it was the first period was tough for me, just always thinking, not knowing where I was on the ice, and then after that I felt more comfortable, and playing with Kopi is pretty easy, just give him the puck, so I just as the game went on I felt more and more comfortable.
And Mike, here's a question I put to Matt Green a few moments ago, and I'll ask you. It did seem tonight that you guys are playing with more of an edge for Daryl Sutter.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. I think before he came in, we weren't playing bad, but I think we just didn't have that aggressive mindset all over the ice, and we got 4 lines that play physical, and we got 6 defense that are up on the rush, putting pressure all over the ice, and I think when we do that, we turn some pucks over, and we got some goals off of it tonight.
By the way, where we are here at the Staples Center, it's on the balcony of the San Manuel Club at Staples Center, and this kind of reminds me of the view from your magnificent cottage in Lake of the Woods. That is magnificent, but so is this view too, and we're overlooking LA Live, where it's New Year's Eve, and there's lots going on. We'll return, talk some more with Mike Richards on After Hours in a moment. We're at the Staples Center on the balcony of the San Miguel Lounge, overlooking LA Live as After Hours continues with our guest, Mike Richards of the Kings. Mike, let's get the show off to a rockin' start with a tweet from Sens Do 19. How many movie roles have you been offered since arriving in Hollywood?
No movies, but somebody actually did ask me if I wanted to be on CSI, one of them, whatever's filmed out here. But
really?
I don't know if anyone's seen my acting skills in the commercials I did in Philly. They're not very good, so I don't think I'm going to do those.
Okay, that leads us to this tweet from Canucks fan 72. How many times a day do you field questions on your beloved Kramer character?
I get it a
Michael
lot.
Richards, right, played Kramer on Seinfeld.
I get it all the time on my Twitter account, actually, is people always say how funny I am on Seinfeld.
You sent this out on Twitter.
Yeah, so I get probably one of those a day. People just saying how funny I was on Seinfeld and what I'm doing now, and I think it takes them a couple days before they realize that I'm not actually Kramer.
Okay, Cassie.
How I guess, the NHL policies with Twitter that came out this year, and how much are you guys using Twitter and as a tool just to kind of get some fun stuff out there, but maybe stuff that we'd never ever see other than behind the scenes? Yeah,
we use it a little bit. I think there's like 6 guys on our team that have it now, but for me, I'm always nervous putting something out there because I just never know what to say, one. And two, there's a minimum 60,000 people that are going to see it, so I don't know if I want to say something that 60,000 different people have different views on, and no matter what you say, almost something's going to be turned around on you. So I'm a little bit careful with what I'm said, but it is a fun tool for people to ask questions and for people to kind of get inside of what we do day in, day out.
Mike, the return of the Jets to Winnipeg affords you the opportunity to play as close to home as you're ever going to get, as Winnipeg is only 2 hours from Kenora. So here's a tweet from Sarah B. What did it mean for you to play in Winnipeg the other night?
It was awesome. I had probably 15 to 20 emails and Facebook messages and tweets about just different people from Kenora coming up to the game, and I think every time my mom ran into someone at the grocery store, they were saying that they're going to come up and watch, and my family got to come up and a bunch of friends, and like we were talking about before, there's not a lot of people that make the trip to see an NHL hockey game out of Kenora, and for a lot of people it was their first, so it's pretty cool to play there, and growing up up until '96, when they left.
Right.
I watched a couple games, and
You got to a couple.
Yeah, I got up to a couple with me and my dad, my brothers, and my mom, and I remember being in the hotel lobby and seeing all the Detroit players and getting autographs from Fedorov, and just being back there and playing in that city was pretty cool for me.
It was a father-son trip
Yeah.
at that game, and I think the night before in Chicago. But
Yeah.
don't tell me, Norm, your father got a 2-hour car ride to Kenora. Well, the rest of the
Yeah.
fathers were flying around in luxury.
Yeah, we were saying that before. I think all the dads got winter coats for Christmas, just going back to Winnipeg. But my dad loves it. He gets on the road, and I think it's a great thing for the fathers. The only reasons why we're here to get a good look at what we do on the road and how things are handled, and what we go through day in, day out. And they go out and have a good time with each other, and just having them around, I think, is a great thing for not only us, but all around the league that people do it.
No, I got to ask, what about your mother, Irene? What does she think? Because I know
Yeah.
some teams have done it with the moms. What do you think about that?
It'd be tough for a mom to go on the plane and in the meetings, and I think we'd have a lot of different personalities if we have the moms around instead of the dads. But
Be
I
more
know
wine than beer, I
there
think.
would be probably, yes, and a lot less swearing, as you probably would get with the dads. But it could happen, I guess. It would be a lot different. We'd see a lot of different personalities, and people probably tone down a little bit. But for me, I mean, that's the reason why I'm here, is they help me out a lot, and I love having them at the games, and maybe one day we'll have a mom's trip.
Nice.
Okay, Mike, you're a Los Angeles King now, so we must be careful not to turn this into a tribute for your days in Philadelphia. But the trade's only 6 months old, and the hockey world was shocked by it. No one more so than you. I'm just wondering, did you have any notion, just a year after leading the Flyers to the Stanley Cup final, that you could be dealt?
I actually had no idea. I got home from a workout at around 12. Got a call from my agent. I was on the phone on my balcony, and my dad was doing something and was trying to talk to me. And once Pat, my agent, said something, I kind of just pushed him away. And Dad kind of gave me a dirty look. And when I got off the phone, he's like, "What's wrong with you? You get traded?" And I'm like, "Thanks, I
Good
actually
one,
did."
Norm.
Yeah.
So along with everyone else, I was shocked. Hurt a little bit, I guess. I spent a lot of years there, and played pretty hard for 6 years and did some good stuff. But once I got out to LA here and hung out with the guys a little bit, and got to know the area, I couldn't be happier. I think a lot of people have been here since I've been traded, and they could even see how much more I'm relaxed and how much more I'm enjoying hockey. And you go to the rink every day, and it's hockey, and it's you're focusing on opponents instead of worrying about everything outside the pictures. So I couldn't be happier. I'm enjoying my time in LA, and we have a good team here, and so hopefully we can just continue to have a success.
Let's get this question in from Bruce in Seychelles. It's an email question, I believe. Have you talked to Jeff Carter since you were both traded? Who was more surprised to be shipped out by the Flyers?
I talk to Jeff all the time. We remain good friends, minimum probably once, twice a week. And we were back and forth. I think we talked to each other probably 6 times within an hour right before it was official that we were traded. And there's disappointment. There's a little bit of anger about how things were handled, but I'm a big believer in everything that happens for a reason. And I'm here right now and enjoying it. And he's finally healthy back in Columbus and getting better and doing well on the ice. And they're out here next week, so it'll be nice to see him.
What do you say, Cassie? We turn the corner to the World Juniors.
Yeah, for sure. Well, obviously, a big thing in Canada with the World Juniors going on. And Canada, I believe they were up 3-0 after 2. I don't know how it finished against the USA tonight, but 2005.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that was probably the best World Junior team ever. And you look at that team and you think how many guys in the NHL are captains and assistants. And you were chosen captain of that team. What did it mean?
It was special when it happened. I remember Daryl's brother, Brent, small world, but he came to me before practice one day and said it. And Pete DeBoer, who was my coach in Kitchener, also came up to me and told me, and just kind of reiterated not wanting to change anything and just going out there and playing and do your thing. But whenever you're a captain of something that big, especially in Canada, and I grew up idolizing those players and watching it every Christmas, and it was pretty cool for me. And I had nothing to do, to tell you the truth. There was 20 different captains in the team, and we just went out there and played hard, and we were so frustrated, I think, with what happened the year before in Finland, and we just had one goal, and it was probably the easiest thing I've ever done is to have to captain a team like that, because everybody's a good leader and everybody knew what we wanted to do.
But Mike, there's so much pressure on the Canadian kids in that tournament. As you know, Canada doesn't win silver, it loses gold, but you answered the pressure in Grand Forks in 05. Here, I want to get this in, Mr. Racing now to get to break, but this is some interesting video of you and Corey Perry, and here you are belting each other in the OHL playoffs. He with the London Knights, and you, of course, with the Kitchener Rangers, and I know you had a few of these bouts, and now we're going to switch from this to the most interesting juxtaposition as you're arm in arm here now.
Yeah, that's
belting out the Canadian anthem together. So which is it, friends or foes?
You know what? I think that was probably 5 months earlier, but whatever happens on the ice, it's obviously just pressure and intensity. And Corey's obviously a great player, and we played each other a lot. So I think people that know his style gets under your skin a little bit, and you know, we fought a couple times. I think we fought twice in junior, and you know, I have so much respect for him and proud to call him a friend. But you know, whenever things like that happen on the ice, you kind of chuckle after.
Mike Richards, one-time Kenora Thistle, is our guest on After Hours. We'll turn the corner to a discussion of growing up in Northwest Ontario when we return. Welcome back. We're at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, overlooking LA Live and getting set to bring in the new year in, a little over an hour and a half from now. Our guest on After Hours is Mike Richards, who about 20 New Years ago looked like this.
Nice.
You can't go wrong with a picture like that.
Boston Bruins colors.
So who was to know that he grew up to be the leader he is, although, Mike, I'm sure you dreamed of it over and over again. This was when you were playing. Well, look, you're in a Kings jersey. What did you know?
Foreshadow. I don't know. My mom was a huge Wayne Gretzky fan, so I think she just made me wear that.
This was when you were playing at the Evergreen Community Club in Kenora. Your father, Norm, your brothers, Mark and Matt, helped take care of the ice. Your mother, Irene, ran the concession stand. So we can fairly conclude you didn't get here on your own.
No, we there's actually 3 families that ran that, but my dad.
Let's have their names, if you remember.
The Garrows and the Baines and the Richards all kind of ran that.
Right.
And I just remember going up there with my dad and my brothers, and you know, the other families went there. They flooded the ice for us. We waited an hour till it froze, and we got out there. And you know, those are, you know, I remember playing as a kid, but I remember so much just walking up the street, going on the ice in the outdoor rink, you know, on a Saturday, shoveling the ice with everybody, and it didn't matter how much snow was on the ice. We managed to get the snow off. It was, you know, 1 foot or 3 feet. We got the ice clean. We played for hours and hours, and then just walked home. So it was pretty cool for us. I mean, I still drive by it, and you know, I don't think outdoor hockey is as big as I think it was when I was younger, but you know, I drive by it and we have so many memories, and we still joke around with all our buddies and about playing there. So it's pretty unique, I think, for us to not only, you know, go out there with our dads and flood it, which was pretty cool, but actually playing on it and getting that opportunity to play there.
And the never-ending shinny games of ages from 5 to 25 had to do wonders for your development. Cassie.
Speaking of development, when did you realize, hey, I'm going to make the NHL? When was that moment?
I don't know. I think probably my draft year. You know, you always want to play, but I remember even before when I got drafted by Kitchener and going there and talking to Peter DeBoer, and my mom actually even said during training camp, like, you know, what if Mike makes it? What do we do? And they're like, well, we're kind of counting on Mike to make this team. So, you know, after that, you start getting comfortable, and then once the draft talk starts heating up, I think that's when you kind of put a little emphasis on what you're doing, and you know, having hopes to make the NHL.
You were drafted by Jamie McDonald from Kenora. You weren't even on the list, and it eventually cost him his job, but you won the Memorial Cup, and we haven't got time for the story, but it's quite a turn of events, and you've often been referred to as one of the greatest Kitchener Rangers ever, so I just wanted to get that in. But back to Kenora. Any of us who've ever spent any time there know how beautiful Lake of the Woods is. Seems to me that you can't wait to get back there as soon as the season's over. Yeah,
every year, no matter when it is, I get back there, all-star breaks, right after the season. I try to get there as early as possible. All my family's there. As you can see, my dog Arnold, and just a lot of friends there. So something that I can go back and relax, get away from hockey, but still have everything there that I need to work out in the summertime.
Here's a tweet from Blue Roo, Manhattan Beach or Kenora. Where's the best fit?
I actually went out in LA right when I got down here with my buddy Luke. He just came down and we went out in training camp just up in the mountains to a reservoir, but you can't beat Lake of the Woods fishing.
Absolutely. Mike, thanks for your time. Great to have you on the program. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, Mike Richards of the LA Kings, our guest on After Hours. We thank him for taking the time to join us on New Year's Eve. Back to wrap in a moment.